Welcome to another Richard Head Longbows video. This time we've got an old bow to show you. It's made in the Victorian period, probably the mid-1800s. And the interesting thing, it's got stamped on it, very difficult to see, J. Fair, Bath. Now, Bath archers were founded in the mid-1800s, 1857. So this bow was possibly used by a member of Bath Archers, and that's of interest to me. I've been a member of Bath Archers since the 1960s. It's very, very dark belly wood. I'm not quite sure what it is, rosewood, something like that. Hickory backing, and probably difficult to see, but it's got quite a reflex in it. And when we've put it on our former, it's about the same sort of shape. So it's either retained it or it's gone back to the shape it was when it was on the former, when it was originally made. We don't know. It's got 44 stamped on it, so £44. And as I say, it was made by Fair in Bath. And at that time there were at least 3 bowyers in Bath, because this was the heyday of the Victorian revival of archery as a pastime for the well-to-do, and there was plenty of those living in Bath at the time, being that sort of city. So companies started up making bows to provide bows for people who wanted to shoot. And in Bath there was Pearl, who is a very well-known bow maker, arrow maker. There's a lot of his equipment around, and he did make stuff for other people as well to put their name on, I think. Yeah. There was Sprate, who had a workshop in Bath, and Fair. And his bows, I think, are probably a bit more difficult to come by. I don't think there can be that many around. But the interesting thing is that bowyers of the time were unable to make a living just making bows. And a lot of them did other things. Wood turning. We've got an advert here, which we'll put on the screen, from Fair. And it says Fancy Turner, British and Foreign Toy Warehouse, City Bazaar, 1 Milsom Street, Bath. And he's advertising archery, cricket bats, croquet, bagatelle, billiard balls, chess, draughts, ivory, hardwood, fancy and cabinet turning executed on the premises, work boxes, writing desks and dressing cases made to order or thoroughly restored, fans mounted or strung, and presumably these were fans for ladies, because there's some fancy ballrooms in Bath. I can tell you they would have had the fans to keep themselves cool, as they should during the evenings. English and foreign articles neatly repaired, magic lantern, dissolving views and games on hire. Can't quite read. What does that say at the end?
I'm not sure.
No, but whatever, sure. It's always in stock.
Yeah, it's always whatever.
And he's also giving lessons on turning. So in order to make a living, a lot of the bowyers made other things. They made walking sticks, umbrellas, all sorts of stuff.
Oh, it says great variety of games always in stock.
And we've got a game here.
We do have one.
We've got one of Fair's games.
Ta-da.
It's tabletop croquet set. And at that time his address is 1 Milsom Street. He had various workshops in and around Bath and moved around, but by the time he got to 1 Milsom Street, and Milsom Street is rather upmarket area of Bath, so he must have been doing reasonably well.
Yeah.
So an interesting thing we came across belonged to my father, actually. Not sure where he got it from. Might have been in the family for a long time. Yeah. Could even have been bought in the 1950s when Fair was making them. Going back to the bow, where's it gone?
Here.
Oh, there it is. There's no nocks on it, which is not unusual for bows of this period. The nocks come off. They were glued on, probably with animal glue, and they came off. We've got some nocks. We've got quite a lot of them, actually, and they were made by Pearl. As I mentioned, Pearl had a workshop in Bath, and maybe Fair used nocks made by Pearl to fit his bows, and we bought from Pearl's factory, I don't know, dozens and dozens of pairs of nocks, all different sizes. and this one actually does fit the bow quite nicely. So we will probably fit this onto the bow just to make it complete.
Yeah, it's surprising how good that fit is. Actually.
It's a good fit. There's no handle on it. We don't know what was on the handle originally. He's obviously put a nice piece of wood in there to give it a bit of shape, which is a nice touch. And it did have some string around it, which is gone. What it was, probably plush sort of velvet, something like that, which is
tend to be
common for the Victorian bows. We've probably got one here actually.
Yeah,
that one.
There's one there. Yeah,
it was probably something like that.
It's got the velvet handle.
So there we are. So that's an interesting thing we've come across, and leading from having the bow, we've found adverts from fair and just got to know what he was making, what he was selling in order to supplement his business.
So we're going to go off now and start making some bagatelle and some fancy goods.
Fancy turning.
Whatever that is.
You're probably allowed to do that now, fancy turning.
I'm quite good at fancy turning. I've been complimented even on my fancy turning. So anyway, we hope you enjoyed that video and found it fancy. And if you do fancy leaving us a like and fancy subscribing, then please do. If you fancy leaving a comment, I fancy you know where to do that in the box below.
The fancy box.
The fancy box. And hopefully you'll join us for the next fancy video. And we'll see you then. Thank you for watching.
Great.
Right, what do we do? I expect you used to play this when you were a boy, didn't you?
With this, of course.
Back in 1922.
Yeah, no, we did that all the
Didn't
time.
have telly then.
Yeah, we've got some nice mallets.
Can I have one?
Yeah, let me have that one.
Thank you.
What are they made of?
Wood.
Looks like
Looks
sort of
like
box.
yeah, it does look Degami-ish, doesn't it?
Yeah, boxwood.
What do we do?
I can't remember how you play croquet now. If you whack it through the holes, but I don't think it wouldn't be set out like this.
Isn't this how... Oh, I see.
No, I don't know how you'd set it out, but it wouldn't be like this. And there's you whack it through the... Oh, look.
Oh, well, that's what you...
I win. I don't know what... There's a bag full of cardboard numbers here.
Oh.
I don't quite know what they're for either.
Each one of these has
Scoring.
probably got to have a number. Oh, you lost.
I don't know. I think perhaps we ought to look up how to play tabletop croquet, or even real croquet.
I want to go.
I think we ought to have each own ball, don't we? Then I've got to try and knock your ball out of the way so you don't knock it through and hit the bowl.
Wow!
Look at that.
Wow!
I don't think you're supposed to do that.
What a great game!
We've got some other bits in here and we have no idea what those are.
Oh. That go on your nose.
Don't know. There's 4 of them.
It's got woodworm.
Anyway, that's it. There's the box.
Sounds exciting.
Croquet, manufactured by J. Fair, City Bazaar, 1 Milsom Street, Bath. And look, there's a newspaper advert. They sold one at a auction years ago for £500.
So you are leaving me this in your will?
No one can have this. So I've got some beer money, £500 beer money.
Bugger.
But that seemed to have a stand with it.
Which this won't be worth as much then.
No, only half
Give
price.
it me.
Half price this one.